What's bigger than a Toyota RAV4 and as efficient as a Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV? That would be this. And this is the BYD Sealion 5. And you know what? There's a real good chance that this is going to come to Australia soon. The Sealion 5 is going to come into an extremely competitive segment. So you've got things like the Toyota RAV4, the Mazda CX-5, Mitsubishi Outlander, Nissan X-Trails, Subaru Forester, and so many more Chinese rivals as well. But if it plays its cards right, this could be the best-selling model in BYD's lineup in Australia. So this car is called the Song Pro in China and other markets, but of course it's going to be Sealion 5 if indeed it comes to Australia. And that is of course if it is confirmed, but spoiler alert, it's probably going to come to Australia. If you have a look at the front design, it's got the same dragon face look as the Atto 2. You've got your nice slimline headlights. And again, there is a synergy between the 2 and the 5, and I think it's nicely done. I'm not sure about that front grille with the kind of bold metal look. I don't know whether that will end up on the Australian market car. It's not really my vibe, but it's quite a sleek looking thing. If you compare it to something like what will be its competitors like a Nissan X-Trail or a Subaru Forester, Mitsubishi Outlander, they're a bit blockier and boxy. This is a bit swoopier, which, you know, if that's your vibe, good for you. And similarly with the proportions and the overall silhouette, it's very much in medium SUV territory. I think it's handsome enough. I'm not blown away by the design, but it's not unappealing either. So I'm seated here in the BYD Sealion 5. I'm not sure what grade it is. It's a Chinese domestic market model, but it looks like it's a fairly high grade. If not, then kudos to BYD for having such a plush interior on an entry grade car, but we'll have to see. These seats are quite plush. There's not a lot of side bolstering down here, but there certainly is for my upper body. And these would be nice on a road trip for sure. And there's just a few nice touches. Some of it's a little blingy. You've got this kind of aluminium or metal look vibe kind of running all around the car. In fact, it goes to the back seats as well. Just adds a little bit of sparkle if that's what you're after. But I do like the fact that they've used different colours. It's quite dark down here, very hard plastics and that kind of stuff. Then you've got that nice cream, then you've got this kind of grey green, and then it's different at the top. It's just a little bit more considered than some of its competitors. Okay, so you've got a flat floor in this car. It is a plug-in hybrid, but it's nice that there is no transmission tunnel. So this center seat is not an afterthought like it is in so many cars. Not a lot of support back here. There is a little bit on the back, but not a huge amount on the bottom part of the seats, but I don't think you necessarily need that in a family SUV. And you've got, of course, your fold down armrest, which is nice, and USB ports and the vents down here, a couple of Mac pockets. And I mean, I've got quite a lot of leg room and a huge amount of headroom as well. So I think, again, BYD really likes to make sure you've got enough space in their cars, and that's definitely the case with this medium-sized family SUV, the BYD Sealion 5. The DMI model features a 1.5 litre Atkinson cycle engine paired with an electric motor. Now that's good for a combined output of 173 kilowatts. BYD reckons you can get from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 7.9 seconds in this thing. It's got a CVT transmission, and it's got fuel consumption of about 1.4 litres per 100 kilometers. Of course, that is on the Chinese cycle, which is fairly generous, so we'll have to wait for the Australian version to arrive before we can tell you what that will be. Okay, so it's not super quick off the line, but this is a family SUV, people. How fast do you want it? All right. Into some bends. There's a bit of heft to the steering, but still a bit sharp. Turn in. There's definitely a bit of roll in corners with this thing, but she's a reasonable sized medium SUV. Ooh, that's a bit of fun. And a bit of a U-turn. Now let's see if the ICE part of this car engages when we accelerate. There it is. Okay. It's pretty quiet in here as well, except for when you go over these. But still, it insulates it enough that it's a fairly quiet environment. Let's do a loop-de-loop here. And off we go. This is pretty sprightly, actually. And the vehicles in this segment are not exactly sports cars, but you can have a bit of fun in this, which means it will be really interesting if this comes to Australia to see what it's like on Australian roads. So what's my verdict on the BYD Sealion 5? My verdict is there is no verdict yet, because I want to wait until we drive it in Australia, and also given the limitations of track driving. But I will say this, it was pretty impressive out there just now, and this interior is really lovely. It feels really premium. And I think if BYD does decide to bring this car in, and if they do it at the right price, then it could really shake up that medium family SUV segment. For more on the BYD Sealion 5, head to carsguide.com.au.